What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another movie review. If you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell notification icon for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. We have a brand new movie that is based on a Broadway musical that has been released in theaters this weekend. It had its premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival. Today I'm talking about Dear Evan Hansen. Directed by Steven Chbosky, and it stars Ben Platt as the lead character, Evan Hansen. You also have Julianne Moore, Amy Adams, Kaitlyn Dever, and Amanda Steinberg. This is the film adaptation of the Tony and Grammy Award-winning musical about Evan Hansen, a high school senior with social anxiety disorder, and his journey of self-discovery and acceptance following the suicide of a fellow classmate. I'm going to be honest here, I knew nothing about this Broadway musical now movie, Dear Evan Hansen. I know nothing about it. I just know that it is directed by Steven Chbosky. This director did Perks of Being a Wallflower, one of the best coming-of-age films of this past decade. And he also did Wonder, a really sweet, charming film that if you have not seen Wonder, please check that film out. My brother Cody is a huge musical guy, and so he knew a little bit about Dear Evan Hansen going in. Apparently the music is by the same guy that did the music for In the Heights and Hamilton, Alex Lacamoire. The storyline that this movie is telling was pretty divisive and controversial going in, so I knew nothing about the controversy going in, but I can only judge the film honestly as a person. I'm just going to be honest and say that Dear Evan Hansen was a pretty dull film. I was not a fan of this movie, if I'm being completely honest. There's a lot wrong with this movie. When it comes to the acting, the storyline, the decisions, had a lot of potential to be good. I wanted to love it, guys, but I was just not a fan of this movie like my brother and my mother were. Some of the songs were really good, especially the opening song that I hear my brother sing a lot. It's the best song in the movie and show by far. And Ben Platt, the lead character of Evan Hansen, I thought Ben Platt's voice is really great. He has a voice of an angel. He's a really good singer. And I think some of the songs that he does sing in the movie are definitely pretty catchy. And I just think his voice all the way around is really good. So when it comes to the music, I don't think you're going to be disappointed by far. It's what really made the show really great in that sense in the movie. Some of the songs in here do have a message behind them, and of course the film is talking about a very serious subject line, which is suicide. And I think the film mostly revolves that around with the music, so I definitely think that's the biggest positive going for it. I like some of the characters in here. Julianne Moore did a good job for the work she was given. Amy Adams was fine, but again, I didn't fully love her character. The best characters in the movie for me were Evan's friend. I thought he was hilarious. He was pretty much the most honest and straight up friend you could possibly have. He's like that one friend out of these group of friends you have who's always straight up and honest, and I thought he was by far the funniest character in here. And I also like Kaitlyn Dever. Now, Kaitlyn Dever I think is a great young actress, and her character might have been my favorite in here. I really felt Dever's emotional power she brought to the character in here, and she by far was given the most development and is like that one character you could get behind. And another character that I did like in here was Amanda Steinberg's character. I really liked this actress from The Hate U Give. That was the first thing I saw her in. And I thought she was good as well. And for this Broadway musical film adaptation, I do think some of the sets were pretty nice in here, especially some of the high school location settings. It kind of brought me back to those High School Musical days or Glee vibes. And I do like high school settings in musicals. And I think in this one, it made the most sense. And if you guys don't want to know anything about this movie, I'd suggest skipping out because I am going to talk a little bit of spoilers in here. There's a character in this movie named Connor that Evan comes across, and apparently Connor commits suicide. And so Evan decides to make up this lie that he was friends with this guy, and he comes across the family, which is Amy Adams and Caitlin Dever and them, says that they were best friends. And so he makes up this whole lie saying that he was friends with him, and the whole school rallies around this concept. The whole movie is pretty much a lie. And this was my biggest issue with the film, because the movie is having a lead character that we're supposed to get behind that is lying to everybody. Now, I understand why he's doing it, but I was just not a fan of the decisions, and just the character all around was just bland. Every single decision that he tries to make, I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Just tell the freaking truth. And it's like so frustrating to watch. But I do think what he's trying to do is something understandable, but I just didn't like the way he was going about it, and it was just a rough watch to watch this lead character constantly lie. Another issue I had was with the runtime. This movie's 2 hours and 17 minutes long. It's almost 2.5 hours long. That is way too long for this movie, especially these recent musical movies being over 2.5 hours long. Doesn't need to be that long. It definitely drags out the third act a lot. The second and third act were rough to get through, and there's just some cringe-worthy parts in here that are like, huh? And another issue people had was with Ben Platt being like 30 years old, a 30-year-old for a high schooler. I didn't have an issue with that. I mean, we saw Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, two guys that are close to 30, be Peter Parker and Spider-Man, so I've seen that before. That didn't really bother me. Just the character of Evan Hansen all around, just, I was not wowed or invested with this character. Also, there's just random awkward transitions that are thrown in here whenever characters bust out a song out of nowhere, like those pretty awful musicals that I've seen. Like, they just bust out a song whenever there's a conversation or dialogue scene, and it was just so awkward. It was so cringeworthy. I didn't like it. I'm sorry, I just did not like it. There's just really awkward decision making in here, and the message that they were shoving forward, they should have focused on that instead of like, just this movie fell flat, honestly, in the second act. Before I give you guys my final overall thoughts on Dear Evan Hansen, if this is your guys' first time checking out the channel and you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on this movie, definitely hit that like button. It really helps the channel a lot. And consider clicking that subscribe button. I review movies every week on this channel. I also do ranking videos, live Q&As. I talk all kinds of movies here, and if you guys are movie fans, you're in the right place. Consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and let's talk movies. Dear Evan Hansen was a beautiful mess of a story. It had so much potential to be great. I love the director, but I just could not get invested with the story. It's too long, and just had the potential to be great, but it just missed. A lead character that's bland, supporting cast that's good. Just in the end, Dear Evan Hansen was definitely just a huge miss of a strike ball. On my rating scale, I'm going to give Dear Evan Hansen a C-. I wanted to love this movie. I'm a big supporter of musical movies, but this one just missed it for me. So yeah, guys, that was my thoughts on Dear Evan Hansen. What did you guys think of this movie? Did you disagree with me and love it? Did you hate it? Or were you in the middle like me? October is seriously the biggest month of movies by far. I cannot wait for October, guys. Also, look forward to a Blu-ray haul coming out, because I got a good amount of new Blu-rays to show you guys. That's going to be fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. All my social media links are in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.